Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama-shloke Bhaktir-bhavati Naishtike Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-anjana-shalakaya Chakshurannilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya-manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa-kadamayyam Dadati Svapadantikam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna-prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. By His divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 7, the sacrifice performed by Dakṣa. Am I audible very clearly?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Audible.
Yeah, thank you. So, we are in the section where various demigods and the assembled at the yajña, they are offering prayers. So, we are at text 40. Brahmo vacha namaste shrita sattvaaya dharmadinam cha sutave nirgunaya cha yatkashtham naham veda parapi cha. Translation.
The personified Veda said, "We offer our respectful obeisances unto you, the Lord, the shelter of the quality of goodness, and therefore the source of all religion, austerity, and penance. For you are transcendental to all material qualities, and no one knows you or your actual situation." Purport. In the material world, there is the trinity of the three material qualities. Lord Viṣṇu has accepted the superintendence of the quality of goodness, which is the source of religion, knowledge, austerity, renunciation, opulence, etc. Because of this, actual peace, prosperity, knowledge, and religion can be attained when the living entities are under the control of the quality of goodness in the material world. As soon as they are subjected to the control of the other two qualities, namely passion and ignorance, their precarious conditional life becomes intolerable. Lord Vishnu, in his original position, is always nirguna, which means transcendental to these material qualities. Guna means quality, and nir means negation. This does not indicate, however, that he has no qualities. He has transcendental qualities by which he appears and manifests his pastimes. The positive transcendental qualitative manifestation is unknown to the students of the Vedas as well as to the great stalwart demigods like Brahma and Shiva. Actually, the transcendental qualities are manifested only to the devotees. As confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, simply by discharging devotional service, one can understand the transcendental position of the Supreme Lord. Those who are in the mode of goodness can partially enter into the transcendental understanding. But it is advised in the Bhagavad Gita that one has to surpass this. The Vedic principles are based on the three qualities of the material modes. One has to transcend the three qualities, and then one can be situated in pure and simple spiritual life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yes. So now this is prayer of Brahmaji. Brahmaji is praying, my dear Lord, respectful obeisance is unto you. Who are you? He prays four things. You are the shelter of the quality of goodness, right? Mode of sattva guna. Second, he says, you are the source of all religion, austerity, and penance. Third, he says, you are transcendental to all material qualities yourself, and thus no one knows you or your actual situations. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, These are beautiful words. Namaste Shrita Sattvaya. So, Dharma Adi, Nam cha Sutave, Nirgunam cha Yat Kashtam, Naham Veda Paravicha. So, these are the 1, 2, 3, 4 qualities Brahmaji is glorifying. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that the material world, there is a trinity of the 3 material qualities. So, Srila Prabhupada using this trinity because Prabhupada's largely preaching was in the Western countries where, the trinity was very famous. The Western Christianity. And Srila Prabhupada says that the concept of trinity basically came from the original Indian trinity that is mentioned in the Vedas, Lord Viṣṇu, Brahma and Maheshwara. And they are the Gunavataras who are taking care of 3 modes of material nature, and specifically Lord Viṣṇu accepting the superintendence of the mode of goodness. And where there is Sattva Guna, then there will be actual peace, prosperity, knowledge and religion. Right? Sattvam Sanjayate Jnanam. And Bhagavad Gita very elaborately describes about how the Sattva Guna is very, very important for a practitioner. Then there is food in Sattva Guna, there is determination in Sattva Guna, there is charity in Sattva Guna. And all this following very well and with a balanced life of Yukta Ahara Viharasya, Yukta Chestasya Karmasu, one can actually come to the mode of Sattva Guna. Further, Srila Prabhupada mentions, Lord is beyond, although he is in charge of Sattva Guna, Lord is beyond the modes. Right? And therefore he is called as Nirguna. Nirguna means, Nir means beyond, Guna means the qualities. Nirguna means beyond the 3 modes of material nature. Nirguna doesn't mean that he doesn't have any qualities. And this is the general misunderstanding with people. Nirakar. Akar means material form. So Nirakar means Lord who doesn't have material form. But unfortunately, people misinterpret as Lord doesn't have form. Is Nirguna, Lord doesn't have qualities. Nirvishesha, Lord doesn't have any Visheshata. Nirakar. And this is how they just get messed up with, the spiritual understanding. Param Bhavam Ajananto. The positive transcendental quality manifestation is unknown to the students of Veda. And therefore the words used here are Veda Pare Picha. That one may go through the Vedas, but when we're not able to find Krishna very well in the Vedas. Although Vedaischa Sarvair Ahameva Vedyo Vedanta Krit Veda Videvacha. The purpose of the Vedas is to know Krishna, is to come to Krishna, Vedanta. But it is very difficult. Vedaischa Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhakto. It is very difficult that a Lord to be found in the Vedas. And therefore Bhagavad Gita recommends that Lord is beyond the 3 modes, and by performing bhakti to the Supreme Lord, one also can transcend the modes of material nature. Mamchayo abdya vicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan savatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. By performance of devotional service, one can very steadily cross over these 3 modes of material nature, and thus daivihesha gunamai mama maya duratyaya. Right? And this is possible through the process of devotional service, which is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Vedic principles fall short of this. Vedas, they themselves are primarily, the Vedic subject matter is all about the 3 modes of material nature. And therefore, one has to transcend the Vedas by understanding the conclusion of Veda. Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. And that transcend the Vedas by coming to the conclusion of the Vedanta. And that Vedanta is nothing but bhakti, performance of devotional service. Text 41. Agniruvacha yat tejasaham susamaditva teja havyam vahesvat tam yajñam panchavidam cha panchabhi svishtam yajurvi pranatosmi yajñam. Translation.
The fire god said, "My dear Lord, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you because, by your favor, I am as luminous as blazing fire, and I accept the offerings mixed with butter and offered in sacrifice. The 5 kinds of offerings, according to the Yadur Veda, are all your different energies, and you are worshipped by 5 kinds of Vedic hymns. Sacrifice means to you the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly said that yajña should be performed for Lord Viṣṇu. Lord Viṣṇu has 1000 popular transcendental names, out of which one name is yajña. It is clearly said that everything should be done for the satisfaction of yajña or Viṣṇu. All other actions a person may take are only causes for this bondage. Everyone has to perform yajña according to the Vedic hymns. As stated in the Upanishads, fire, the altar, the auspicious full moon, the period of 4 months called Chaturmas, the sacrificial animal, and the beverage called Soma are necessary requisites, as are the specific hymns mentioned in the Vedas and composed of 4 letters. The hymns is as follows. Ashra Vayeti Chatur Aksharam Astu Shrausad iti Chatur Aksharam Yajeti Dvabhyam Ye Yaja Maha. These mantras, chanted according to the Shruti and Smriti literatures, are only to please Lord Viṣṇu, for the deliverance of those who are materially conditioned and attached to material enjoyment. Performing yajña and following the rules and regulations of the 4 divisions of society and of spiritual life are recommended. It is said in the Viṣṇu Purana that by offering sacrifice to Viṣṇu, one can gradually be liberated. The whole target of life, therefore, is to please Lord Viṣṇu. That is yajña. Any person who is in Krishna consciousness has dedicated his life for the satisfaction of Krishna, the origin of all Viṣṇu forms. And by offering worship and prasada daily, he becomes the best performer of yajña. In the Bhāgavatam, in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, it is clearly stated that in this age of Kali, only successful performance of yajña or sacrifice is yajñena sankirtana pragya. Prayah. The best type of sacrifice is to simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This yajña is offered before the form of Lord Chaitanya, as other yajñas are offered before the form of Lord Viṣṇu. These recommendations are found in the 11th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Moreover, this yajña performance confirms that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Viṣṇu himself, as Lord Viṣṇu appeared at the Dakṣa yajña long ago. Lord Chaitanya has appeared in this age to accept our Sankirtana yajña. Hare Krishna.
Agni Ruvacha. Now, the demigod Agni, he began to pray. By your favor, I am luminous as the blazing fire. I accept the Panchavidha sacrifice, the 5 kinds of offerings, and also you are worshipped by the 5 kinds of the Vedic hymns. And the yajna essentially means to please you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, Yajñarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. That the activities has to be performed for the pleasure of Lord Viṣṇu, yajna artha. And who is yajna? Yajna is Lord Viṣṇu's name, and this comes in a very beautiful, Viṣṇu Sahasranam by Bhishmadev. One of the name of Lord is Yajna. So these actions are only considered to be auspicious. Otherwise, all other activities, so-called pious, impious activities, they only lead to karma bandhana or bondage. Right. Now, but to perform the yajna to Lord Viṣṇu, there are many necessary items. Which are these? These are the fire, the altar, the auspicious full moon, period of Chaturmasya, the sacrificial animal, and Somaras. So And then there are specific mantras to be chanted from Shruti and Smriti literature. And by performance of all these, gradually Lord Viṣṇu is pleased. So Viṣṇu Puran states, by offering sacrifice to Lord Viṣṇu, one is gradually to be liberated. And which is the whole goal of one's life. Ante Narayana Smriti is to please Lord Viṣṇu, Narayana iti samarapayami. But in the Kali Yuga, things get a twist. What is a twist? Because in Kali Yuga, most of the things are not available, right? The you know the priests are not available, the paraphernalia is not available, and the process recommended is also not this yajña process. So in the age of Kali, the recommended process is yajñai sankirtana prayai yajanti sumedasah. And just like in the previous ages, the yajña is performed in front of Yajña Purusha, that is Lord Viṣṇu. This yajña, Sankirtana yajña, is performed in front of the form of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, Panchatattva. So here there is a reference to Panchatattva, Panchavidam. So in Kali Yuga, there is Panchatattva who appears and accepts this yajña. In this is very elaborately discussed in the 11th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Vande Maha Charana. We take the shelter of, and there is a description of Lord Chaitanya. One was all being Krishna's names. Varna here means Varnama. Tvisha, a Krishnam, but his bodily complexion was a Krishnam. It was not Ghanashyam. It was Gaura Sundar. Sango Pangastra Parshadam, who arrives in this material world in Kali Yuga with his Anga, Upanga, and Parshada. And he comes with a terrific weapon of the holy name, right? Sango Pangastra, Astra is the holy name, his own humility, and his own beauty. Yajñai Sankirtana Prayai, and he inaugurates the Sankirtana Yajña, Yajantihi Sumedasaha, and very intelligent people will take advantage of Kali Yuga and be engaged in this particular Yajña. And just like Yajñas is to be offered in front of the personality of Godhead, Sankirtana Yajña is offered in front of the personality of the form of Lord Chaitanya, and more precisely, the Panchatattva, especially Gaur Nitai. So Lord Chaitanya appears in this age to accept our Sankirtana Yajña. So whenever there is Yajña, Srila Prabhupada will always quote about the Sankirtana Yajña. Why? Because our tendency is to find out new Yajñas and the newness of the Yajña, which animal to be sacrificed. You please tell me. So Kali Yuga, there is no animal to be sacrificed. Kali Yuga, the Yajña is Sankirtana Yajña. Text 42. Deva Urjuhu Pura Kalpapaye Svakrut Udarim Atyakrita Vikrutam Svameva Madhyas Tasmin Salida Uragendra Dishayane Pumana Sheshe Sriyadhiruti. No, this is some different tune. Vimrushitadhya Vipadi Sa Evadhyak Pati Charasi Vritya Vanasinaha. Translation.
The demigods said, Dear Lord, formerly when there was a devastation, you converged all the different energies of material manifestation. At that time, all the inhabitants of the higher planets, represented by such liberated souls as Sanaka, were meditating on you by philosophical speculation. You are therefore the original person, and you rest in the water of devastation on the bed of the Shesha snake. Now, today, you are visible to us, who are all your servants. Please give us protection. Purport. The devastation indicated in this verse is the partial devastation of the lower planets within the universe when Lord Brahma goes to sleep. The higher planetary systems, beginning with Maharloka, Janaloka, and Tapoloka, are not inundated at the time of this devastation. The Lord is the creator as indicated in this verse because the energies of creation are manifested through his body, and after annihilation, he conserves all the energy within his abdomen. Another significant point in this verse is that the demigod said, "We are all your servants, Bhrityan. Give us your protection." The demigods depend on the protection of Viṣṇu. They are not independent. Bhagavad Gita therefore condemns the worship of demigods because there is no need of it and clearly states that only those who have lost their sense go asking favors of the demigods. Generally, if anyone has material desires to be fulfilled, he can ask Viṣṇu instead of going to the demigods. Those who worship demigods are not very intelligent. Besides that, the demigods say, "We are your eternal servants." So those who are servants or devotees of the Lord are not very much concerned with fruitive activities, the performance of prescribed yajñas or mental speculation. They simply serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead sincerely with love and faith, performing everything with that loving service, and the Lord gives such devotees direct protection. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, "Simply surrender unto me, and I will give you protection from all the reactions of sinful activities." This material world is so created that one has to act sinfully, knowingly or unknowingly. And unless his life is dedicated to Viṣṇu, he has to suffer all the reactions of sinful activities. But one who surrenders and dedicates his life for the service of the Lord has direct protection from the Lord. He has no fear of suffering from sinful activities, nor does he desire willingly or unwillingly to do anything which is sinful.
Yeah. So now, Devaha Urchu, the demigods began to pray. During the devastation, Srila Prabhupada explains in this devastation, this is the partial devastation, not the total devastation. You conserved all the different energies and the great personalities like Sanaka, with the dint of their huge philosophical knowledge, they could pray to you. And now this form, the original personality, is visible to us. Please protect us. So it is not very easy to Sudurlabham, to see the form of the Lord is not very easy. So not easy to see form of the Supreme Lord. Even Lord Brahma takes all the demigods and he goes to Kshirasagara. There is a heart-to-heart transmission. The message from the SMS comes from the Supreme Lord. Okay, directly Lord is not appearing. And even for the Devatas, it is not very, it is not a frequent thing to visit the Supreme Lord and have darshan of the Supreme Lord, even for the Devata. Right. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains the devastation indicated here is the partial devastation. Right. And when this partial devastation happens, at the end of the day of Brahma, when Lord Brahma goes to sleep, that time, the lower parts of the universe is inundated with the water, Garbhodak water. And the higher planets, Maharlok, Janalok, Tapalok, they are not inundated and they are not destroyed at the time of this partial destruction. So all the great personalities, they move up in these three planetary systems and they maintain themselves there while constantly praying for the Supreme Lord and waiting for Lord Brahma to wake up and start his new kalpa, the new day. Prabhupada says another significant point here is all devatas, they are saying that we are your Bhritya. Bhritya means servant. And please give us protection. Many times, especially in India, there is a misconception that all devas are one. Right? All devas are not one. There are devata and then there is a Bhagava, the Supreme Godhead. Devatas, they are great personalities, but they are the living being like you and me. Just like the ministers are also living, the common citizens like you and me, but they have the popular vote, and by the dint of their vote, they are got elected for a particular term to become a minister. Similarly, Devi Devata, except Lord Śiva and Durga Devi, okay, these are like different tattva altogether. All other Devatas, they are the living entities, and by the dint of their pious activities, punya, they have gone to that position of being a Devata. And therefore, one should never equate the Supreme Lord with another Devata. Right? And therefore, Bhagavad Gita says that when you surrender to the Supreme Lord, automatically your Devata worship is also taken care because devatas, they themselves depend on the protection by the Supreme Lord. Correct. And therefore, Bhagavad Gita says, do not bribe them abhidhi purvakam and try to ask for your material desires. Instead, go to the Father. So what Bhagavad Gita says is, all the devatas, they are like the high-paying officers, highly paid officers in the office of your father. And the child goes to the office, the father's office, and instead of approaching the father, the child approaches, somebody, a driver, or some peon, and he says that I want some cigarette, and take this, and the child is trying to bribe the peon or a driver who is servant of the father, instead of approaching the father, because he is afraid that if I approach the father and ask him cigarette, he will give me a tight slap. There is no question. So here, cigarette is compared to the material desire. But here the Lord is so kind that even with material desire, somebody comes to the Supreme Lord, he purifies the person and also fulfills the desire. What is the proof? The very next chapter that we are going to see, Dhruva Maharaj, that is the proof. He had very intense material desire, very, very big material desire. The glory was that he approached the Supreme Lord, and thus everything became glorious. And therefore, Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja. I will take care of you. Just surrender unto me. In the last paragraph, Srila Prabhupada explains, this material world is so created that one has to act sinfully, knowingly or unknowingly. Unless his life is dedicated to Viṣṇu, one has to suffer the reactions of all his activities. But as soon as one surrenders to the Supreme Lord, whatever we do, there is a sin there, right? Even if we eat vegetarian food, again, the living entities are killed there. So what we do is, we do our life as an offering to the Supreme Lord, and then this thing is taken care. Text 43. Gandharva urchuhu asham shaste deva marichadyayate brahmendradya devagana rutruporaga krida bhandam vishwamidam yasya vibhun tasmai nityam nata namaste karavama. Translation.
Translation. The Gandharvas said, Dear Lord, all the demigods, including Lord Śiva, Lord Brahmā, and Indra, along with Marichi and other great sages, are all only differentiated parts and parcels of your body. You are the supreme almighty great. The whole creation is just like plaything for you. We always accept you as the supreme personality of Godhead, and we offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Purport. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. There may be many gods from Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, and Chandra down to the rulers of the lower planetary systems and the presidents, ministers, chairmen, and the kings. In fact, anyone can think that he is God. That is the false, puffed up conviction of material life. Actually, Viṣṇu is the supreme Lord, but there is even one above Viṣṇu. For Viṣṇu, Viṣṇu is also the plenary portion of part of Krishna. In this verse, this is referred to by the word amshamshaha, which refers to part and parcel of a part and parcel. There are similar verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita which indicate that the Supreme Lord's parts and parcels again expand into other parts and parcels. As described in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, there are many manifestations of Viṣṇu and many manifestations of living entities. Viṣṇu manifestations are called Svamsha, partial manifestations, and the living entities are called Vibhinnansha. The demigods like Brahma and Indra have been promoted to such exalted position by pious activities and austerities, but actually Viṣṇu or Krishna is the master of everyone. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, Ekale Ishvara Krishna Arasabhavritya. This means that Krishna alone is the supreme personality of Godhead, and all others, even the Viṣṇu Tattva and certainly the living entities, are his servitors. Baladev is the immediate expansion of Krishna. He also engages in the service of Krishna. He certainly the ordinary living entities are serving. And certainly the ordinary living entities are serving. Everyone is created constitutionally for serving Krishna. Here the Gandharvas acknowledge that although the demigods may represent themselves as supreme, actually they are not supreme. Real supremacy belongs to Krishna. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam is the statement of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Krishna is the only supreme Lord. Worship of Krishna alone therefore includes worship of all parts and parcels, just as watering the root of water also waters all branches, twigs, leaves, and flowers.
Yeah. So here, Gandharva, the Gandharvas began to pray. All the demigods, Lord Śiva, Lord Brahmā, everybody are only your differentiated parts and parcels of your body, and we all accept you as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada quotes Brahma Samhita, citing supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is Lord Viṣṇu. And therefore, the word used here is Amshamsha. And the theme verse of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is this: Etecham sakalapam saha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam and Ekaleshwara Krishna are Sabhavritya. And the Supreme Lord is Krishna, and all the expansions, they are happily serving Krishna. In the material world, the connotation of service, there is a negative connotation that, I am servant to somebody. But that is not the case. Balramji is extremely happy. In fact, he expands himself in so many different rasas that he can serve the Supreme Lord. Right? So there is a greater happiness in service of the Supreme Lord than even being the Supreme Lord. What is the proof? The proof is, the Lord personally appears as Lord Chaitanya to taste the nectar of his own devotional service. So Chaitanya Charitamrita, so Bhagavatam gives a hint about it, that Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, but it is Chaitanya Charitamrita which describes much in detail how there is a Kala, Pumsaha, and how there is Swamsha, Vibhinnamsha. In very detailed explanation comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And therefore, worship of Krishna alone includes worship of all parts and parcels. Just like when we water the root of the tree, every part of the tree is satisfied. Yatha taror moola nishechanena trupyante, automatically satisfies. Tat skanda bhujopashakha. Pranopaharasya yathendriyana. Similarly, when the food is given to the stomach, entire body is nourished. Similarly, when our devotional service is offered at the lotus feet of Krishna, all other demigods are extremely happy and satisfied with devotees of Krishna. Right. So we will conclude here and continue tomorrow. If somebody has any question, I can stay back because I have some time today. But we'll conclude here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you,
Prabhuji, there is no
Hare
question.
Krishna. Thank
Yeah,
you.
please.
I just wanted to say one thing.
Yeah.
हे तुमचं कीर्तन ऐकायला फारच छान वाटतं. एकदम श्रवणीय आहात तुम्ही. तुमचा आवाज पण खूप छान आहे.
Thank you. No. There are very wonderful devotees. Okay. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.